Imagine waking up one day and realizing that the greatest battle you've ever fought has never been with the world, but with yourself. A battle between who you are and who you could become, between the comfort of childhood dreams and the weight of adult responsibility, between infinite possibilities and the discipline required to turn even one of them into reality. This invisible conflict has a name, and Carl Gustav Jung saw it with stunning clarity. He called it the Puer Aeternes, the eternal child. Today, we dive so deeply into this archetype that by the end, you may discover why your life has felt stuck in certain places, why some dreams remain fantasies, and why the path to your future might require a truth you've been avoiding your entire life. So stay with me. This might shift something inside you, something you've been waiting to understand for years. The eternal child. Not the child in the literal sense, but the child within the adult. A youthful spirit, yes, creative, dream-filled, idealistic. The spark of imagination that makes life beautiful. But Jung warned us that beneath that spark lies a shadow, a hidden danger. Because the eternal child does not want to descend into real life. It wants freedom without responsibility, pleasure without effort, dreams without discipline. To Jung, the Puer Aeternes was the soul that refuses to grow roots, always dreaming, never building, always wanting, never committing, always escaping, never confronting. Think for a moment about how many people today live exactly like this, scrolling endlessly through social media, imagining a life they never move towards, falling in love with potential, but terrified of the work required to truly love or be loved, waiting for the perfect moment while letting months, even years, quietly slip away. Perhaps you recognize some of this in yourself, that longing for freedom, adventure, possibility, mixed with a quiet fear, a fear of becoming trapped, limited, responsible, a fear of entering the world fully where mistakes are real and consequences exist. Jung understood this tension better than anyone. He believed the eternal child lives inside all of us, a symbol of hope, inspiration, and endless imagination, but also the source of our deepest paralysis. Because the child in us wants life to remain simple, safe, full of wonder, but free from weight. Yet adulthood demands something different: to build, to commit, to choose, to stand for something, to sacrifice the illusion of infinite possibilities for the reality of one chosen path. And this is where the conflict begins. There's a story Jung often referenced, the myth of Icarus, the boy who strapped wings made of wax and feathers and soared high into the sky. The higher he climbed, the more invincible he felt, until he flew too close to the sun. Ambition, imagination, dreams turned into tragedy because he refused to accept limits. This is the fate of the eternal child. He wants to fly forever, never land, never descend into the real world. But the world eventually demands grounding. And when reality appears, deadlines, bills, commitments, failures, responsibility, the eternal child feels betrayed. Some respond with withdrawal, others with anger, many with depression, a sense that the life they imagined has been denied. But Jung didn't want us to kill this childlike spirit. He wanted something far more powerful. Integration. Not suppressing the child, not obeying the child, but teaching it, maturing it, guiding it, so its dreams can be transformed into something real. But how do we do that? It starts with honesty, radical, painful, unfiltered honesty. Ask yourself, what parts of my life am I avoiding? What decisions am I delaying? What responsibilities scare me the most? What dreams do I talk about but never act on? Because inside every avoidance, there is a shadow. And inside every shadow, there is a story. And inside that story, a wound. The eternal child is not simply immature. It is afraid. Afraid of failing. Afraid of being ordinary. Afraid of choosing wrong. Afraid of losing freedom. Afraid of becoming someone they don't respect. So the child stays in a floating world, a world of someday, a world of one day I'll start, a world of when the time is right. But the time is never right, and that is the illusion that keeps millions trapped. Jung believed that the way out begins with shadow work, bringing the unconscious into the light, the fears we pretend we don't have, the insecurities we hide behind our confidence, the responsibilities we secretly reject, because until we confront these unconscious forces, they don't disappear. They control us from the dark. Until you make the unconscious conscious, Jung wrote, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate. To move beyond the eternal child, we must first meet it face to face. And then comes the second step, responsibility, not as punishment, not as limitation, but as transformation. Responsibility is the soil in which dreams grow roots. Without it, everything remains fantasy. The child dreams of writing a book. The adult sits down and writes, even on days they feel uninspired. The child dreams of love. The adult shows up with consistency, communication, and vulnerability. The child dreams of success. The adult builds habits, systems, and discipline. Freedom is not the absence of responsibility, or true freedom is the ability to carry responsibility without collapsing, because responsibility gives shape to your potential. It takes the boundless energy of the eternal child and channels it into something real, meaningful, enduring. But there is another dimension Jung explored: relationships. The eternal child fears intimacy, not because they don't want love, but because love requires vulnerability, commitment, effort, sacrifice. The child wants ideal love, a love that never demands they grow or change. But real love asks us to show up when it's uncomfortable, to be honest, even when it is painful, to grow beside someone, not escape from them. The eternal child prefers fantasy over reality, but fantasy cannot hold you when life breaks you. Fantasy cannot challenge you, expand you, or deepen you. Jung believed that relationships are not obstacles to individuation. They are catalysts. They reveal our shadows. They reflect our patterns. They force us to grow in ways we never would alone. To integrate the eternal child is to learn that love is not a prison. It is a mirror. Now we reach the heart of it. The ultimate realization Jung discovered. The eternal child isn't trying to ruin your life. It is trying to protect your soul. It wants you to remain free, joyful, imaginative, limitless. It wants you to never lose the spark that makes you you. But this spark must be carried into adulthood, not hidden from it. The goal is not to kill the child. The goal is to raise the child, to evolve it, to mature it, to bring it into harmony with the adult. This is what Jung called the union of opposites. The child dreams, the adult builds, the child imagines, the adult commits, the child plays, the adult perseveres. Together, combined, they make a complete human being, a person capable of dreaming boldly while acting courageously, a person grounded enough to build, yet light enough to imagine, a person who is whole. So now ask yourself, where is your eternal child holding you back? And where is it guiding you towards something beautiful? What are you resisting? Not because it is wrong, but because you are afraid to grow. What dream in your life has been waiting for you to finally take it seriously? This is your invitation to descend into your life, to commit to your path, to carry your dreams with discipline, to transform the child's fantasies into the adult's achievements, not by killing the child within you, but by finally becoming the person that child always hoped you would become. Because the greatest tragedy is not growing older. The greatest tragedy is never growing up. And the greatest victory? To walk into your life with the heart of a child and the strength of an adult. That is individuation. That is integration. That is awakening. And perhaps that is the beginning of the life you were always meant to live.